friends, Jill back with you. I want to talk about Neptune conjunct the Composite Ascendant today. So, Neptune on a Composite Ascendant is something that you're going to want to pay real close attention to because it's a really, really thick expression of what Neptune means. We really feel like we have merged into one person with Neptune on the Composite Ascendant. Both people are so absorbed into the Neptune of the other. It's one of the thickest pools of Neptunian goo that we can swim in with this particular placement. The mutual personas, they're mixing to idealize each other to a high degree, and we end up conforming to what we think each other wants with this particular position. It's often really typical with this placement for the direction of the relationship to be very illusory. We don't have a clear sense of definition regarding each other. So it's really not possible to have a clear understanding of where you're mutually going. It's a lot like when my best friend and I, we would walk arm in arm around the playground and just chat and enjoy each other's company and say hi to this group and that group and visit the restroom and go to the library. And eventually we would come to a dead end or a gate or other strange place that we didn't actually want to be, and we would both look at each other and at the same time say, "Where were you taking me?" That's very much this type of happening. There's this assumption that the other has a direction and you both aren't really thinking about it anyway. So you end up in places you didn't intend to go because there's really no clear plan. Another side effect of having this particular aspect is that we can strongly act out in martyr-like ways. And often this is actually as a means to control each other through your feelings, through causing sympathy. Again, we don't see ourselves clearly or each other clearly when we're blending in this fashion, so it can pull those types of behaviors out of us as a result of the way that we blend. There's such a longing to see what we have always wanted to see in another person, that we do actually see that. The perfection we think we see in each other is actually coming from our own internal fantasies and wishes. You don't know each other well, not really, with this Composite Ascendant. You will get to know each other as time goes by, and you end up taking back your projections as you get to know each other better. The person that emerges, the person that you eventually see, is never who you thought you knew and not who you thought you were getting. When we really see each other for what we really are, it's often colossally disappointing because it doesn't match what we wanted them to be. And it's usually very embarrassing when we eventually are truly seen for what we are. After this unveiling takes place, we have the chance to make a very practical choice. When the truth comes out, you will have the opportunity to be able to correctly evaluate your relationship. What you find may be wonderful. It will not be what you thought you had or what you thought you were originally getting, but it actually might be wonderful for what it is. Sometimes, in other cases, it's revealed to be a very bad combination and a very bad match. What you find you have is actually, weakening you. And, we need to exit or change the relationship in those cases. You won't know until you show and tell the truth. And that can take years with some relationships. And this aspect can be present in the composite charts of people where the fantasies are so thick that it does take a long time to punch through. It will happen though. Eventually the truth always comes out. So if you have this placement, it's so important to, again, really tell and show the nitty-gritty of yourself early on. And there's not going to be much that you can do to counter those particular fantasies anyway, but you just have to be aware that this is occurring here. So the more honest we can be, and the less that we can try to conform to what we think the other person would like us to be, the better the chance is that your relationship is going to last. And this is something that can show a wonderful intuitive connection. There are some things about this that are great. You're meeting in a very spiritual way. So there's a strong bond when it comes to, having more going on than just what's on the surface. And that's interesting because do you see how ironic that is? That it's the surface things that we're casting upon each other that we're falling in love with, but yet this does have the opportunity to bind us in a way that is so much deeper than the surface. So it's something that we have to work for. And again, Neptune is something where those illusions fall away. It's very much like we take a leaf blower and we blow the fog out so we can see what's behind it. There will be always an unveiling where Neptune is involved in relationships and in natal charts. So again, always be upfront and always be aware when we have Neptune this thick in a composite chart. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com, Facebook and Instagram at Truth and Aspect Astrology, and other social media. And please find me on Patreon and support me over there so I can make more videos for you more often. And I'll be back super soon with more super cool videos.